Iran has been a threat to the United States and the free world for 47 years.
Already lying.
Chants of death to America, targeting our people, killing Americans, lying and blackmailing their way toward a new...
Dude, that death to America quote is fucking retarded, man. When they say death to America and Israel, they're talking about the government. It's so stupid.
Nuclear weapon, so they thought. No longer. Not on our watch. Other presidents marked time and kicked the can down the road. President Trump made history. From the strike that took out Qasem Soleimani, to tearing up the disastrous Obama-Iran deal, to the...
Yeah, all of that led us to this war, bro. All that shit led us to this war. At all.
The precision campaign that obliterated Iran's nuclear sites in Operation Midnight Hammer, to the decisive military victory we just achieved in Operation Epic Fury. No other president has shown the courage and resolve of this commander-in-chief. President Trump forged this moment. Iran begged for this ceasefire, and we all know it.
All right, that's a fucking lie. So here's what happened. When the war first started out, the Italians tried to get a hold of Iran to get a ceasefire going, and they said no. What incentive do they have to end the war without guarantees that the war is going to happen again? And they're controlling the Strait of Hormuz. So they have absolutely no incentive really to, number one, negotiate with the United States, number two, trust the United States for them to have a ceasefire. So it was the U.S. that was trying to get an off-ramp earlier on via Italy, and that failed. Then the Pakistanis kind of acted as an intermediary, but let's be clear about this. There wasn't really a negotiation. It was more about, these are our demands, and then the U.S. was like, these are our demands. There wasn't really much talking. And neither side is really that flexible. So,
as the President Truth this morning, a big day for world peace. Iran wants it to happen. They've had enough. Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory on the battlefield. A capital V military victory. By any measure, Epic Fury decimated Iran's military and rendered it combat ineffective for years to come.
More lies. The ballistic missiles are still firing. Even after the ceasefire, missiles were hitting Israel. They're not combat ineffective, because if they were combat ineffective, we wouldn't be trying to get a ceasefire right now. Is their Navy gone? Yes. Is their Army gone? Yes. Right? Not their Army. Their Navy and Air Force, excuse me. Their Navy and Air Force have been destroyed. Yes. But to sit there and be like, oh, they've lost like all their capabilities, that's not true. I mean, bro, they literally just shot down an F-15. Like, what? They shot down an F-15. They shot down an F-35. I mean, if you're shooting down F-35s, bro, you're pretty fucking capable, man. Okay? So, shout out to Dixon Myers with the 2 gifted. Appreciate you, my friend.
You see, in less than 40 days, one of our combatant commands, Central Command, CENTCOM, using less than 10% of America's total combat power, dismantled one of the world's largest militaries. The world's leading state sponsor of terrorism proved utterly incapable of defending itself.
The world's leader of sponsoring terrorism is Israel. If we want to count which military has killed more people, the IDF has killed more people than Hezbollah, Hamas, the IRGC, probably combined. The IDF has absolutely killed more people and enacted more acts of terrorism than all of these fucking, radical Muslims combined.
Its people or its territory.
Like, bro, Gaza alone, bro, they killed, according to the Hamas ministry, it's 70,000. It's going to probably be like closer to 100 to 600,000.
We untied just a fraction of our strength, and Iran suffered a devastating military.
Because they were planning to assault Isfahan, because they had information that there was highly enriched uranium there. I don't know how many hundreds of kilos, but apparently there was some there, and that is why Special Forces had created kind of like a forward operating base, and they were kind of slowly getting all their resources together. And I honestly think that operation is what Trump was waiting on. That's why he was trying to use the MEUs and the Marines and all this other crap to like kind of create a diversion while they assault the nuclear facility. But obviously that fatigue got shot down, so they had to completely pivot. Another clue here is that, if you guys notice, they brought Ratcliffe on to do a lot of the briefing. Why the hell is the CIA running a military operation? Anytime you see the CIA running a military operation like that, it's pretty much going to be black ops, right? Bro, I can't believe this guy fucking just lies so much. Outside Logic, OTB, Berto, Curtis Leon, okay. MAGA Make Americans, Goyim again. Finally catching another live question. Is this war making BRICS stronger than a Petro, or is there still time? There's still time. There's still time. But yeah, I mean, the petrodollar's definitely going to be, there's new alliances. This war has changed the whole landscape of the Middle East. We've effectively proven to our Gulf partners that we can't really protect them. Hey, bro, when you go to ASU? May 1st.
Launchers, production facilities, and existing stockpiles depleted.
Young Dolph, thank you.
And decimated.
And Evo Johan.
And almost completely ineffective. Iran shot hundreds and hundreds of missiles and one-way attack drones at our aircraft carriers. They were obsessed with it. And they never got even close. Sorry. Every single one of those shots easily shot down miles and miles away from the Abe Lincoln. They were blowing ammo into Fantasyland. Contrast that with, most significantly, in last night's wave of more than 800 strikes, we finished completely destroying Iran's defense industrial base, a core pillar of our mission objective. What little they have left buried in bunkers is all they will have. They can still shoot, we know that. Their command and control is so decimated they can't really talk and coordinate, so they still may shoot here and there, but that would be very, very unwise. But they can no longer build missiles, build rockets, build launchers, or build UAVs. Their factories have been razed to the ground, set back in historic fashion. You see, had Iran refused our terms, the next targets would have been their power plants, their bridges, and oil and energy infrastructure. Targets.
Yeah, and that would have been the end of the world, bro. Like, if you idiots had really done that and attacked power plants and desalination plants, say goodbye to the Middle East, bro. Okay? Like, if you guys actually did that retarded shit, that would have been the end of the fucking Middle East. It would have created a global catastrophe. We would have a humanitarian crisis because 90% of the water, right, from the Gulf comes from desalination plants, and Iran would strike those and destroy them. We're talking about 50 to 60, somewhere between 50 to 66 million people without fresh water. You know how crazy that is, dude? As if, like, it wasn't bad enough that, we have our bases there and they're getting attacked for our bases.
They could not defend and could not realistically rebuild. It would have taken them decades, and we were locked and loaded. They couldn't defend against it. President Trump had the power to cripple Iran's entire economy in minutes, but he chose mercy. He spared those targets because Iran accepted the ceasefire under overwhelming pressure.
No, you gave your 15-point plan, then they gave you their 10-point plan, and then you said, okay, this is a framework we can work with.
The new Iranian regime understood that a deal was far better than the fate that awaited them. This new regime just happened to look at what happened to their predecessors. Their top leadership was systematically eliminated. The previous Iranian supreme leader, dead. The Supreme National Security Council secretary.
All right, guys, I'm bringing my brother in right now. Give me 1 sec. He came at the right time.
And it's all great. And I mean, when is he not boastful and just dramatic? But JD Vance probably understands the reality of the situation and the gravity a lot better. And there's a desperation from JD Vance to kind of diffuse this, be responsible for diffusing this, and brush it under the rug, because he wants to be the one who invoked peace. He wants to be the guy who brokered the deal. He wants to be the guy who had the negotiations with the foreign minister. So, yo,
what up, man? I was watching a Pete Hegseth thing.
Yeah, we could jump straight into it.
Yeah, I got it. Where the hell? Okay, let me turn this on, and then I know what I'm going to do. Hold on. I got to move some of this shit up. Okay. All right. Boom. There we go. Can you see my screen or no? Oh, no, you can't. Hold on. I got to share it. Hold on. Bam.
Dead.
So he's already telling the lies about they had to capitulate and accept the deal.
I just told my stream, I'm like, we're gonna just watch Pete Hegseth and Caroline Leavitt live for a couple hours. So it'll be fun.
Facts.
Go ahead.
Bro, you know what's funny? Lebanon was getting bombed as Caroline Leavitt was like doing her press conference this morning.
This morning?
Yeah. Like
this morning.
Literally, as she was doing her press conference, they were getting bombed. Israel was bombing the hell out of Lebanon. They had one of the biggest strikes, guys.
Well, ironically, today was one of the biggest attacks from Israel to southern Lebanon. And of course, it's right after the peace deal was brokered. So now the only ask the United States is requesting the Strait of Hormuz to be open is being jeopardized. And JD Vance called the deal fragile. We're seeing that. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, they're going to get some tough questions because as they're trying to push one narrative, reality is manifesting in the other direction, showing that what they're saying is just not true.
Yeah.
The Supreme Leader Military Office Chief, dead. The Defense Minister, no longer with us. The IRGC Commander, dead. The Armed Forces General Staff Commander, dead. The Intelligence Minister, dead. The IRGC Navy Commander, no longer here. The IRGC Intel Chief, dead. I skipped over a bunch and I could go on and on and on to include the so-called new Supreme Leader wounded and disfigured. This new regime was out of options and out of time, so they cut a deal. They know this agreement means that they will never, ever possess a nuclear weapon.
See, that's already contradicting because in their 10-point plan, they would enrich uranium. So there's already contradictions all over the place here.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is what happens when you lie. It's just going to crumble right in front of you.
You know what we should do? Ryad, while I'm playing this, can you pull up the 10-point plan and then the 15-point plan? Let's put them side by side so we can really like get the audience aware on this.
Any nuclear material.
However, I don't know if you saw really quickly, JD Vance today was saying that there's different 10-point plans and some of them are fake, some of them are real, but I believe I have the real one here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like dude, it's such fucking cope, man. Like and the latest news I heard is both the Israelis were bombing the hell out of Lebanon. We're talking last numbers I checked was 250 dead, 1,200 injured. There's probably going to be hundreds more dead because of the rubble. But they launched a huge attack against Lebanon, and Lebanon seems to be the sticking point, chat. Iran said they're not going to do a ceasefire unless Lebanon is brought into the deal. The Israelis are saying Lebanon's not a part of the deal. I think even JD Vance said Lebanon's not a part of it, right?
So I think that's why he tried to conflate the fact that there's several different 10-point plans because he wants to be able to lean on the idea that Lebanon was never included because they can't stop Israel from striking them. So originally, Lebanon was absolutely a part of the 10-point plan. You know how we know that? Because Abbas Araghchi, the foreign minister of affairs, had said in a statement today and several statements previously that Lebanon must be conceded upon for us to open up the Strait of Hormuz and for war to not continue. So not only has it been in the 10-point plan, the one that he's about to reject right now in this video you're playing, but the foreign minister of affairs confirmed that's actually one of the biggest asks they have in this war right now.
Oh, yeah, and Trump posted on True Social too. Trump posted the official statement of Iran. Now, let me take you guys to this guy's Twitter account. So if we go here, Araghchi, here's his Twitter. Look at this. Boom. Statement on behalf of the Supreme National Security Council of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Like, Trump used their shit. So you could presume if he's posting this on his True Social and this is their statement, then, you know, I'm assuming and also the other thing too is like the 10-point plan is Iran's, the 15-point plan is the US's. Let me make this
This is the US 15-point plan. Number one is removal of all sanctions on
That's their number one thing they care about.
Yeah. Removal of all sanctions on Iran, U.S. assistance in advancing and developing a civilian nuclear project, removal of the threat of sanctions being reimposed, Iran's nuclear program is frozen under a defined framework, enriched uranium to remain, but under supervision and agreed limits, missile program to be addressed at a later stage with limits on quantity and range. That's probably never going to be met, especially the range part. Use of nuclear programs restricted to civilian/defensive purposes only. 8, development of existing nuclear capabilities halted. 9, no further expansion of enrichment capabilities. 10, no production of weapons-grade nuclear material on Iranian soil. 11, all enriched material to be handed over to the IAEA with an agreed timeline. 12, Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordow to be taken out of use, destroyed. Those are the nuclear sites. 13, international monitoring and verification mechanisms enforced. 14, gradual implementation tied to compliance. 15 additional regional and security understandings between the parties. Now, it's important to note Donald Trump on Truth Social, and I might actually just be able to pull it up here. He had said that the United States is going to work from the framework of this 10-point plan. Okay, and I'll read the 10-point plan because I didn't read through it, and I'm sure some people are listening. So
yeah, this is Iran's plan.
Iran had a 10-point peace plan that was in response to the existing U.S. 15-point peace plan. This is what Iran is asking.
They countered with this one.
Exactly. A guarantee that Iran will not be attacked again. Permanent end to the war, not just a ceasefire. 3, end to Israeli strikes in Lebanon. 4, lifting of all U.S. sanctions on Iran. 5, end to all regional fighting against Iranian allies. 6, Iran would reopen the Strait of Hormuz. 7, Iran would impose a $2 million fee per ship transiting Hormuz. 8, Iran would split these fees with Oman. If you don't know, Oman is on the other side of the 21-mile passageway, and so they also control the Strait of Hormuz. At least they were before this started. 9, Iran would establish rules for safe passage through the Hormuz. And then finally, 10, Iran would use Hormuz fees for reconstruction instead of reparations. And Donald Trump had said on Truth Social that we are going to work from the framework of the 10-point plan in response to our 15-point plan and hopefully come to a deal on Friday.
Where's that